Good afternoon and welcome to Cairns in tropical North Queensland. It's a very steamy, quite a hot Australia Day afternoon here in Cairns, and today we are going to do the Red Arrow Circuit, which promises to be a 1.5 kilometre or approximately 1 hour return trek up through the Mount Whitfield Conservation Park. It promises to offer some pretty good glimpses of the busy Cairns International Airport as well, so that should be really good. It's a little bit tricky to find. Don't go on Google Maps or Apple Maps. There was a number of false leads. Basically the start of the walking track is right behind the Cairns Botanical Gardens visitor centre, so put that in your GPS and that will be your best bet. Anyway, it looks like there's a number of different tracks you can take: green arrow, blue arrow, yellow arrow and red arrow. So yeah, looks like we're going to do the red arrow today. Looks like there's some good vantage points of nice tropical rainforesty kind of scenery along the way. Anyway, without further ado, let's head up there, shall we? Start of this walk is nice and shaded. That's really nice. It's about 33 degrees this afternoon and about 70% humidity, so it's pretty warm with that humidity. Hopefully we'll get a few showers later on to cool things down a bit. So yeah, definitely a nice start to the walk. I believe this might be start of the blue track possibly, and then we have to veer onto the red track, so I better keep an eye out for that. But yeah, really I'm looking forward to hopefully some good vantage points of plane spotting up at Cairns, up on this hill. As you'd be aware, Cairns is probably the busiest regional international airport in Australia. It attracts flights from all the way as far as Japan, Southeast Asia, all Australia's capital cities. You can fly to Cairns, so that's pretty cool. And obviously you can fly to many destinations in regional Queensland as well. So lots of different planes, quite a busy airport. A few military planes through as well, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, this track's looking really beautiful. If you just go based on TripAdvisor, you're often not going to see these things in the first 10-20 results. So, you know, do a bit of local research, find out the places the locals go, and you'll be really treated to some great views. This is our first T-junction here. I wish this walk would be a little bit better signposted. It was really quite tricky to find. Now it's not really giving much of an indication whether you need to veer right to go on the red track. Looking at the map when we first started, did seem to suggest we veer off. And there is a red arrow going this way. So it would have been nice if there was some sort of official pointer. Let's have a look. Alrighty, here's the sign here. You are here. Not very easy to work out at all. Red arrow walking track. Yellow arrow. Looking at this map, I can only assume it's a loop. So it goes up that way and comes back that way. So fingers crossed, it's only an hour and, about 1.5 kilometres return, so couldn't get too lost. Said there was quite a lot of steep steps, so I can see some steps. Definitely close to the airport. You definitely see some low-lying planes taking off. But yeah, really hoping we get some good vantage points at Cairns Airport today. Townsville Airport, did try my luck there, but it was just really difficult trying to find any sort of good vantage point. Anyone does want to share any local insider knowledge where to plane spot in Townsville, really appreciate it if you let us know for our viewers. Looking here, it's like 500 metres up, we've finally got some sort of written confirmation on the red arrow, so it's good. Alright, we're rising quite steeply here. Just starting to get a few glances out over the ocean. Oh yeah, you can see the glimpses of the runway there, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Townsville is just a bit too tricky. You know, you could go up just up to the fence line, but you know, it's a pretty heavily guarded airport, being home of RAF-based Townsville and that. The views weren't that good, so it wasn't really worth it. Just like Castle Hill in Townsville, apparently this is the in spot for morning joggers, fitness buffs. Come here early in the morning, late at night, or late in the afternoon. Alright, there's a good view of the runway there. Hopefully there's a proper vantage point where it's a little bit cleared out. I guess we'll see. Yeah, really geographically diverse walk, this one. As we start at the back of the Botanical Gardens. It was quite lush rainforesty sort of geography. Now that we've risen a few hundred feet, it's a little bit more of a dry tropical savanna type landscape, so that's quite interesting. Here's a little path that veers off here. So maybe just this is the viewing point. Still not an overly good view, so maybe a little bit further up the top. So yeah, that was a nice place to stop and get a breather. Although the vantage point of the airport was fairly limited. Let's hope there's even a better vantage point further up. There's the blue arrow. So yeah, I was about to go back down the bottom of the red track. Just sought some advice from a friendly local. Reckons to go up the blue track a little bit further. There's another vantage point up there, so let's have a look, shall we? we're definitely climb it. This blue track is 6.6 kilometers long or something, and it's quite an intense walk apparently. Anyway, that's a nice view there. It's a better view. Fingers crossed a little bit further up you have an even better view. The guy suggested there was a lookout shelter, but it might have been not there anymore. Hopefully there's still a vantage point. Yeah, good vantage point here. If I do manage to find a really good spot, I'll definitely do a plane spotting video, and I'll put that up on YouTube as well. So stay tuned in case that comes up. There's a hut up here, so fingers crossed this is our place. Definitely looking like clearing up here. The guy did mention a telco tower, so that looks like the case. Alrighty, this looks like the yellow track. So the guy said you could take this down, so that's what we might do. Alrighty, we've just stopped by the lookout point for 10-15 minutes or so. It's only a good vantage point of, you know, the surrounding area, and back over to Cairns and obviously over Cairns Airport. The views ain't that really accessible, but for plane spotting. So anyway, we've found this yellow track, which is a 1.9 kilometre track that goes straight down. So we'll follow that instead of going back on the red track, and that will take us a little bit closer down towards the airport. So yeah, unless I find a better vantage point a little bit further down the hill, I'll probably refrain from doing a plane spotting video. because yeah, the few planes I did take, it was pretty hard to get a great view, and perhaps it's not the most favourable runway direction at this time of day, I'm not too sure, but there didn't seem to be too much on flight radar 24 either. So yeah, we'll just keep continuing down this one-way track. And it should take us a bit closer to the airport, and we'll probably, if there's any vantage points, we'll check those out. If not, we'll probably head back towards Cairns City, which is about an hour's walk. So yeah, unless I stand to be corrected later on in this walk, I probably wouldn't bother coming up here if you're purely coming up for plane spotting. But it's a lovely walk nonetheless, don't get me wrong. Really showcases off Cairns' natural geography very nicely. Probably just bring some aero guard or a long sleeve top or something if you're coming later in the day, but I'd say the mozzies or midgies could get quite bad. Here's another scenic view there, that's quite nice. So yeah, it looks like this track's going to fairly gently meander its way down the hill. So yeah, I noticed up here in Cairns it's just that little bit more tropical than Townsville. Townsville is generally a tropical climate, you know, strictly speaking. Although it is definitely a little bit cooler there in winter. Definitely drier as well. So yeah, you really do get the monsoon season up here, so you can definitely see why it's so green at this time of year and lush. Now we're, you know, walking through a rainforesty sort of area, so that's nice. Now it's heavily shaded most of the walk, so even at, you know, in the early afternoon in the heat of the day, it's not too bad, to be honest. You're going to be walking around the streets of, you know, Cairns in the middle of the day in the city. Might be cooler to do that, you know, later in the afternoon, early evening when it's nice and lively. It'll be very busy. A few passing showers went through in the early hours of this morning, so there's a little bit of residual mud and a few puddles around the place, but overall the track conditions pretty good, especially for this time of year. I'm not sure how it would go in the pouring rain, might be okay, it might not be, I'm not really sure to be honest. Probably just got to use your discretion on that one. So yeah, it looks like we've got 1.4 kilometres this track left, so we've probably done about 30% of the yellow track already, so very pleasant. A few soft patches of mud and a few loose rocks, so doesn't look too daunting, but still pay attention to where you're stepping. Alrighty, nearly went off in the wrong direction there. We're back on the track. Yeah, really turning out to be a nice couple of hours, this little side trip out to the Botanical Gardens and the Arrow Walk today. If you're just in Townsville for a short period of time, or you don't really want to spend any money, you know, going on a fancy day trip up to, you know, Cape Tribulation or Daintree or Corunda or whatnot. Don't get me wrong, they're all well worth doing. But if you just want a nice easy option somewhere close by, doesn't cost you a cent, and this is, can't go wrong. Finally sounds like another jet taking off. It's been about 20-30 minutes since the last one. Don't really see it from here though. Probably a stock standard Jetstar A320 or a Virgin or Qantas 737 800. Airport's located really close to the highway, so sometimes it's a bit hard to distinguish whether you've got a plane about to take off or whether it's just traffic from the highway. So far so good with the GoPro today. It's holding up quite nicely. Unlike with the iPhone on a gimbal, that heated up pretty quickly. Then started powering off on a few occasions, but no problem with the GoPro. Obviously we're fairly shaded. If we were filming in the direct sun, it might be another problem, but alright, looks like we're halfway point of the walk now, so 950 metres complete up the hill, and another 950 to go. Slowly but surely meandering the way down. So yeah, we're now coming towards the end of the yellow track. The 500 metre marker was a few minutes ago now, so we nearly finished this walk today. Summing up, it was a really good walk. A little bit of a shame the signage could have been a little bit easier pointing out how to get here. Certainly don't rely on Google Maps or Apple Maps. You could get put on a false lead, end up in some suburban street like I did. But anyway, a really good walk once you actually found it. Basically just head for the Botanical Gardens in Cairns, and directly behind the visitors centre there you'll find the starting tracks for the walks. There probably are other access points as well behind Cairns Airport, but that's probably a pretty good one if you don't want to get too lost. So yeah, for me, doing part of the red circuit and then coming down the yellow circuit, taken only about an hour and 15 minutes today. If you just did the red circuit, it's only a 1.5 kilometres return. They say to allow about an hour, hour and a half, something like that. But yeah, the yellow circuit didn't take too long at all, maybe half an hour or so to come down. And if you did the blue circuit, that's 6.6 kilometres return. It's a lot more strenuous apparently, so if you did that, certainly allow a lot more time. Probably if you did all the tracks, you'd probably need a good half day or so and a pretty good level of fitness. But yeah, otherwise the walk I've done today, hour or two of your time, depending on how quick you want to take it, was really well worth it. Not too bad vantage points for the airport itself and the airfield, but probably not the best for plane spotting. so wouldn't worry about coming up here purely for plane spotting. But it provided magnificent sort of different showcase of the North Queensland geography up here, so great walk all around, can't complain. The start of these walking tracks are about 4 or 5 kilometres out of town. They are pretty close to the Cairns Airport. So to get here on foot from the centre of Cairns, it is about an hour's walk. Although you could always get a public bus to the Botanical Gardens or Uber, taxi, something like that. Save you walking there. So plenty of options. Just plan your journey ahead and should be no dramas finding a way to get here. Anyway, for now it looks like the trailhead's pretty well ending here, so thank you very much for watching the video today. Hopefully it's given you a good insight about the Arrow walking tracks and hikes that you can do in the Mount Whitfield Conservation Reserve, which is behind the Cairns Botanical Gardens. If you like this video, I really appreciate it. Give it a like, hit that subscribe and bell button so you see more and more great content as it comes to air. It also motivates me to produce better and better content. Obviously your feedback always helps, much appreciated. Helps me motivate me to be better and better content for you guys. I am up in Cairns. There'll also be a walking tour coming up as well, so keep an eye out on that, and also check out some other content from North Queensland, such as Council, some of the stuff I've done up there as well, so keep an eye out for that. Also some flight reviews coming up as well from this part of the trip, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, you can also visit my website aussiejetsetter.com.au, where you'll see all the latest flight reviews, industry news, destination guides, frequent flyer hacks and more. Put a link to my socials in the description below, so please check out that and subscribe to my Facebook. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching today, and until next time, safe travels wherever that might take you.